and welcome to Mountain Telephone TV's Channel 2. I'm your host, Jonathan Keaton, along with Jenna Evans, and tonight we're going to be talking about the primary election here in our service area of the counties of Bath, Elliott, Menifee, Morgan, and Wolfe counties here on Spree TV, on Spree TV Facebook, and on Spree TV YouTube channel. We're going to break away now and we're going to get set up and talk about some of these results we have in. We've got some results from Morgan County and Wolfe County that we're going to discuss, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. I'm your host, Jonathan Keaton, and we're talking about the primary election here in our service areas of Bath, Elliott, Menifee, Morgan, and Wolfe counties. We've got some results in from Morgan County. I'm going to read those out loud right now. We've got results in from Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Lacey Creek, and Chapel. So I'm going to read those again. Morgan County, Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Lacey Creek, Salem, Chapel. So let's talk about the race for County Judge Executive in Morgan County. In Ward number 1, we have James David Green with 20 votes, Jim Gazay with 8, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 12, and that's in Ward 1 in Morgan County. In Ward 2, for David Green, we have 16, for Jim Gazay, 13, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 18. So that's Ward 2 in Morgan County. Ward 3 is for James David Green, 50. For Jim Gazay, 57. Kenneth Kelly Bowman, 52. That's in Ward 3. For Lacey Creek, for Judge Executive, got James David Green with 21. Jimmy Gazay with 12. And Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 6. That's in the Lacey Creek precinct. And we've also got some results for Judge Executive in the Salem precinct with James David Green with 11, Jim Gazay with 18, and Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 15. That's in Salem area of Morgan County. In Chapel, for Judge Executive, we have 35 for James David Green, Jim Gazay with 16, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 21. So that's for Chapel in Morgan County. I'm going to look at my slideshow here, and we're going to just take a look at some of the Morgan County races. I'm going to kind of click through here, so you'll have to pardon me with that. I want you all to see this. So let's go to the Judge Executive race overall. So right now, the way it stands in Morgan County for Judge Executive, this is a big race in Morgan County. David Green is leading currently with 142 votes across the county. Jim Gazay with 106 and Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 109. So this is the current totals in Morgan County right now. We just broke down the precinct totals for Judge Executive, and this is the actual total for all the precincts we have in so far. I'm going to double check here. We've got our data keepers over here working really hard to try to keep up with all the precinct data we have coming in. For Judge Executive in Morgan County, we've got some stuff in for Wrigley. James David Green with 17, Jim Gazay with 30, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 31. That's for Wrigley in Morgan County. That's currently what we have in. Let's switch gears to the sheriff race in Morgan County. And right now, this is just the overall totals in the county. I've got some precinct data that I might break down here in a minute, but I know you all are interested in the hard numbers. So Roger Benton, this is the Republican county sheriff race. Roger Benton with 76, Jeffrey Smith 121, and Kenneth Scarberry with 166. This is the total number of votes we have right now in. We've got several precincts in for sheriff. We got Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Lacey Creek, Wrigley, Salem, and Chapel in for Morgan County. That's the current precincts we have in for Morgan County. And we also have some numbers in here for the Democrat sheriff race. We have John Paul Turner with 333 and Anthony Gullett with 158. So that's the Democrat side of the sheriff race in Morgan County. Let's switch gears, and for our Wrigley folks out in Ward 3 in Wrigley, let's take a look at the magistrate race out there. We've got some numbers in for it. We got Tommy Fannin, the incumbent, with 58. And we got Ray Adkins with 101. So that is the totals we have so far. And it looks like we have some stuff in that just came in for Wrigley with that. We have Tommy Fannin with 17 and Ray Adkins with 60. So that was actually a big jump here on what we actually have on the total. So we're going to refresh our data. We're getting a lot of data in right now. We're going to take just a short break and refresh some of our data. That way we can give you the most accurate numbers that we know. And we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. We're also on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We are going over Morgan County results. This is the first county we've had results in. We've got some stuff in from Wolfe, and we've got all kinds of data coming in for precincts from Morgan County. So I want to go back over the Morgan County results again. This is a big race in Morgan County, the judge executive race. Right now, James David Green leads with 233 votes. Jim Gazay, the incumbent, with 199. And Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 212. So this is the total number that we have so far in Morgan County for judge executive. We still need data from Dingus, Crockett, and Ezell, and also the absentee ballots. We don't have any of that data yet. So this is just for Ward 1, Ward 2, Ward 3, Lacey Creek, Wrigley, Salem, Chapel, Index, and Caney for Morgan County. Let's switch gears here to the county sheriff, the Republican side of that. Roger Benton with 139, Jeffrey Smith 200, and Kenneth Scarberry 309. The Democrat side of that, John Paul Turner with 568 and Anthony Gullett with 259. So these are the precincts that I just said. We still need results from Dingus, Crockett, and Ezell, and as well as the absentee votes. So let's also look at this. So we have updated numbers for the Magistrate District 3. This includes Ward 3 and Wrigley. And the incumbent, Tommy Fannin, with 75, and Ray Adkins with 161 votes. And that doesn't include, I don't think, the absentee or the paper ballots. This is just from Ward 3 and Wrigley. Magistrate District 4 in the Ezell area. We got Frankie Spencer with 59, Timothy Hansen with 11. This is the Republican race for Magistrate District 4 in Morgan County. The Democrat side of that, Jenny Vest with 26 and Brandon Evans with 82. Brandon is the incumbent. So this is for the Ezell area. And then we've got some numbers in for Wolfe County. Let's go ahead and discuss that. Let me switch my page here to Wolfe County. We've got some absentee paper and absentee ballot machine ballots in for Wolfe County. So this is for the U.S. Senate. Daniel Cameron with 9, Andy Barr 37, the rest of the candidates with 0. So let's switch to the next one here. And we've got no votes so far. This is just the absentee ballots for Wolfe County. Let's continue through Wolfe County. This is also the Democrat side of the U.S. Senate. That was the Republican we just went over. Vincent Anthony Thompson with 19, Amy McGrath with 81, Dale Lewis Romans with 8, Charles Booker 31, Pamela Stevenson with 7. So this is the 5th U.S. Senate district in Wolfe County. Joshua Blanton Sr. with 5 and Logan Forsyth with 14. We've got some U.S. Representatives candidates for Republican in Wolfe County. Kevin Smith with 0, Benjamin Hurley 3, Hal Rogers 39, Jerry Lee Shelton and Brandon Monholland with 0. Brandon Smith, this is for the state Senate, the 30th district. Brandon Smith with 31, Bill Wesley with 16. This is the Republican side of that. And now we've got some local races for Wolfe County. This is in my district where I live, District 1 in Wolfe County. Gary Dunn with 21, Timothy Bailey with 6, Arthur Vest with 12. So this is just the absentee ballots. This is paper and machine. This is District 1 Magistrate in Wolfe County, the Democrat side. Magistrate District 2, Michael B. Perry with 0, Gene Taylor Booth with 46, Steve Oliver with 59. This is in Wolfe County Magistrate District 2. And for Constable, John Matthew Cannon with 52, Jason Mad Dog Miller with 42 in Wolfe County. So that's what we have so far in for Wolfe County. We don't have any precinct totals, I don't believe, in yet. I'm sitting here looking at the numbers so far. Once again, we do have some stuff in for Morgan County. We're starting to get Ezel in for some of the races. We're getting judge executive races. We're going to take just a short break and allow our data keepers to put in some new data and refresh our slideshow, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2, as well as Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We sure appreciate you tuning in and choosing Spree TV as your headquarters for Decision 2026. We've got some new data to share with you from the Ezel precincts. Right now we've got some judge executive numbers in. James David Green with 16, Jim Gazay with 35, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 85. That's in the Ezel precinct, and we're beginning to get some data in from Dingus as well over in the eastern part of Morgan County. Right now, as it stands for the judge executive race, the overall totals at the moment are James David Green with 285, Jim Gazay with 269, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 361, and we're still awaiting numbers from Crockett and possibly the absentee ballots. I don't know if we've got that data in somewhere or not. It's not on the Excel sheet, but we're still waiting on Crockett. Speaking of the some of the other races in Morgan County, right now we're getting some data in from Dingus. I'll read the judge executive numbers. 36 for James David Green, 35 for Jim Gazay, 64 for Kenneth Kelly Bowman. So we're just awaiting some data from Crockett, and I actually see it populating right now. Our data keepers are on it tonight. For judge executive, 24 for James David Green, 21 for Jim Gazay, and Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 23. So that is in the Crockett precinct. So the new totals for the judge executive race, and I hope you all are listening out there. James David Green with a total of 309 votes. Jim Gazay, 290 votes. Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 384. So that is, as far as I'm concerned, most of the precincts are in, maybe possibly waiting on the absentee paper ballots in Morgan County. But we're going to take just another short break and refresh what we're getting, because we're getting this stuff so fast. And we appreciate you tuning in. Just stick with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2, as well as Facebook and YouTube. We're still awaiting our first totals from Bath County, Menifee County, and Elliott County. We've not got any data in yet for them, but we do have data from Morgan and Wolfe County, and we've got what looks to be a lot of our precinct totals in for Morgan County. All the precincts appear to be in, all but the absentee paper and absentee machines ballots. So we're going to go over Morgan County. We have to go over what we have, so we're not trying to favor anybody, but what we have for Morgan County in the county judge executive race: James David Green with 309, Jim Gazay with 290, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 384, and that's with all precincts reporting at the moment, other than the absentee ballots. We may still be waiting on those. For the Republican County Sheriff in Morgan County, Roger Benton with 197, Jeffrey Smith with 275, Kenneth Scarberry with 498 votes. The Democrat side of the county sheriff race: John Paul Turner with 719, Anthony Gullett with 406. It's in Morgan County for the Democratic sheriff race. District 2, that's the Crockett and Dingus area of Morgan County in the eastern part of the county. Isaiah Perkins with 77, Frederick Hutchinson with 113, and Stanley Bryan Hill with 11. So that's District 2 Magistrate, the Republican side of it. For the Republican side of District 3 in Morgan County, that's Wrigley and Ward 3. Tommy Fannin, the incumbent, with 75, and Ray Adkins with 161. So that is all precincts in, other than the absentee ballots. We don't know if those are included in these totals or not. We're not sure. District 4, the Republican side of that from Morgan County: Frankie Spencer with 104 and Timothy Hansen with 35. That's in the Eazell Chapel area of Morgan County in the western part of the county. District 4, the Democrat side: Jenny Vest with 73 and Brandon Evans with 94. We've got some totals, like I said, in for Wolfe County. We have U.S. Senate. These currently, I believe, are just the absentee ballots. There's not any precinct data in for Wolfe that we have at the moment. I'm double checking my sheet here, and it still looks like it's the case for Morgan County that we have most of the precincts in for the local races. Appears that all of them are in for the local races. That includes county judge executive, sheriff, and the magistrate races. We don't have any data in for the U.S. Senate for the 5th District, the Democrat or Republican side, or the U.S. Representative, or the State Senate for the 30th District. We do have some totals in for Wolfe County, and I will go over those right now. So this is the 5th District of the U.S. Senate, the Republican race in Wolfe County. Daniel Cameron with 9 votes, Andy Barr with 37, Jonathan Holliday with 0, Nate Morris 0, Valerie Frederick with 0 in Wolfe County. That's just the absentee ballots. Jimmy I. Leon and George Washington also with 0. The Democrat side of the U.S. Senate race, Vincent Anthony Thompson with 19, Amy McGrath with 81, Dale Lewis Romans with 8, Charles Booker 31, Pamela Stevenson with 7, Joshua Blanton Sr. with 5, and Logan Forsyth with 14 in Wolfe County. The U.S. Representative for the 5th District, the Republican side, Benjamin Smith with 0, Kevin Smith with 0, Benjamin Hurley with 3, Hal Rogers with 39, Jerry Lee Shelton and Brandon R. Monholland with 0. This is the state Senate race, the 30th District in Wolfe County. Brandon Smith with 31, Bill Wesley with 16. This is currently the absentee ballots for Wolfe. Magistrate District 1 in my district where I live. Gary Dunn with 21, Timothy Bailey with 6, Arthur Vest with 12. That's the Democrat side of the District 1 magistrate race of Wolfe County. Michael B. Perry with 0, Gene Taylor Booth with 46, Steve Oliver 59. That's the 2nd District magistrate in Wolfe County for the Democrat ticket. Constable of Wolfe County for District 2, John Matthew Cannon with 52, Jason Mad Dog Miller with 42. So currently I think that's all the numbers we have at the moment. Let me check my sheet. I know our data keepers over here, they're working as hard as they can to make sure when there is data we get it. We still have not got any data from Bath County. We don't have any data for Bath County, and we're still waiting on that at the moment. We have gotten some data from Menifee County, but it seems to be an addition error on the side of the clerk or the voting machine over there. So we're not going to release that data till we ensure that it's right. Same thing for Elliott County. There's only 3 races in Elliott County this year, and they're all U.S. Senate representative and Congress, and there's no local races in the primary. So we're going to take another short break and refresh our data here and try to gather some data from Bath and Menifee and Elliott County, and we'll return with that data when we come back. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. I'm your host, Jonathan Keaton, and we've been getting results left and right from Morgan County and Wolfe County. We are finalizing the totals right now for Morgan County, and we've actually got our representative that just popped in here, I'm sure, with a recap sheet. So we might get that from him and read some stuff, but for now I want to read totals from Elliott County. We have some votes in for U.S. Senate of the 5th District in Elliott County. Right now, that is the Republican side. Daniel Cameron with 36, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 159, Dr. Val Frederick with 2, Nick Shelley with 4, James Ferris with 4, Other Donald Wenzel with 1, Jimmy I. Leon with 1, and George Washington with 7. So that is for Elliott County. That is for the 5th District Republican race. We literally got this total in just now. And we've also got another total in from Elliott County. It's a little bit topsy-turvy. I'm trying to figure out how to get it straight on. So just 1 second and I will talk about this other race from Elliott County as soon as I can get it turned over here. We appreciate Keisha Eisen, our representative over there tonight. She had a hard job. She had 3 races to cover. And I know that there's some folks probably jealous of her that are working tonight. This is for the U.S. Representative for the Republicans. Kevin Smith with 22, Benjamin Hurley with 17, Hal Rogers with 162, Jerry Lee Shelton with 4, and Brandon Monholland with 11. Those are totals from Elliott County. So that is the representative race for the Republicans in the 5th District. So we've got some totals in for Elliott. So let me refresh my teams here and see if we have any other totals in. We've also got some early voting in for Elliott County, I believe. So just one moment here. So this is for the Democrat U.S. Senate race in Elliott County. We have some precinct totals. We don't have actual totals. We've only got precinct totals, and that's a lot to read. So we've got all precincts in for the U.S. Senate Democrat race. We're going to total those up and put them in the slideshow because I don't know how to read that without it not being complicated to you folks. I want everything to be really simple, and but we do have all the races in for Elliott County, and I think as well as Morgan County, we might have a recap sheet available. Possibly, and our data keepers are looking at that at the moment. We're still waiting for Menifee County. I know there's folks that were asking on Facebook about Menifee County. We're still waiting on some totals from them. I think they may have had a totaling issue where some of the numbers didn't add up correctly, and so I assume they're working on that. We've got some absentee ballots in from Wolfe County. We've got nothing from Bath County as of yet. So we're going to take another short break and regather everything, update our slides, and we'll be right back in a few minutes. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. I'm your host, Jonathan Keaton. We've got some totals in for Menifee County. I know some of you folks are chomping at the bit, ready for Menifee County stuff, and we do have a recap sheet for Menifee County. So this is for the U.S. Senate race in Menifee County, the Republican side. Daniel Cameron with 56, Jonathan Holliday with 1, Andy Barr with 181, Nate Morris with 8, Dr. Val Frederick with 0, Nick Shelley with 0, James Duncan with 1, Michael James Ferris with 2, other Donald Wenzel with 0, Jimmy I. Leon with 0, and George Washington with 5. The Congress representative for the U.S. District, the 5th District of Republicans, Kevin Smith with 18, Benjamin Hurley with 16, Hal Rogers with 185, Jerry Lee Shelton with 9, Brandon Monholland with 12. State representative, this is the 74th District, the Republican side of that. Aaron Williams with 43, Shannon Denniston with 60, David F. Charles is 153 for that. That's the 74th District State Representative that serves Menifee and Bath counties. On down to the Menifee County Judge Executive races, the Republican side. I know there's a lot of folks that are looking forward to this data. Josh Brown with 24, Hector F. Acala with 151, Tana Crouch with 69, Norval Collinsworth Jr. with 23. That's the Menifee County Judge Executive race. And according to this, I'm going to assume that these are precinct totals. So, well, these are all precinct totals in. So forgive me if I'm squinting at a computer screen at the moment. I've got some numbers in here for the Republican side of the sheriff. Frankie Kidd with 104. Dean Foltz Jr. with 122. That's the Republican sheriff race in Menifee County. Magistrates in Maribor. Republicans, Tyler Thacker, 32. Gerald Walton, 44. The magistrate for Pomeroyton, Republican, Kenneth Hatton with 9. Joe Sorrell with 16. So we're still looking at some of these totals here. The Democratic Party for the sheriff in Menifee County, Timothy Tim Newton with 24, Roger Smallwood with 172. Jailer, the Democratic side for the jailer, Courtney Alley Rogers with 104, James Eric Helton with 76. That's in Menifee County for the Democratic jailer race. The magistrate for Frenchburg City is Paige Warren Clark, 38, Ollie Whitaker with 77. That's in the Frenchburg city limits for the magistrate. The magistrate for Wellington, Rick Bear with 12, Alonda Brown Fife with 2. So that's some of the data we have in for Menifee County. This is a recap sheet, so we're just trying to read some of this data. And one of our representatives is said that we are waiting on another voting place to come in for Menifee County, so those aren't the official totals. Those are just some totals that we have currently. We've got some stuff in for Wolfe County. I think it might be a final recap sheet, possibly. Let me zoom in here and take a look at this. So for the, excuse me, this stuff comes in really fast and we have to read it. And we have some great data keepers over there keeping up with everything, and they're doing a great job. We've got totals in for the magistrate race in Wolfe County District 1. Gary Dunn with 185, Timothy Bailey with 126, Arthur Vest 61. So that is the total. I guess that's all precincts in for Wolfe County. That's District 1 magistrate. Gary Dunn, 185, Timothy Bailey, 126, Arthur Vest, 61. And for the magistrate in District 2 for Wolfe County, Gene Taylor Booth with 309, Michael B. Perry with 8, Steve Oliver with 234. So that is all the data in for Wolfe County for the magistrate District 2. The constable for District 2, we have John Matthew Cannon with 246 and Jason Mad Dog Miller with 216. So that's some recap totals we have in for Wolfe County currently. We're going to take just a short break and take a look at all of our data we have so far and see if there's anything new to share with you. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2, as well as Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in and watching us recap the primary election here on Spree TV. We have all the data in for Morgan County, I'm told. We've got the recap sheets in, we've got the totals in. So I want to go over the local races with you, and then we'll go over the federal races at the end. So for Morgan County, these totals are unofficial. This is just what the county clerk has printed off. They still have to be certified by the state, and I just want to share what we know with you right now. So it appears in Morgan County that James David Green has 379 votes, Jim Gazay with 334, Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 442. So it appears that Kenneth Kelly Bowman right now is in the lead, unless anything changes. That's kind of what it looks like right now for Morgan County for the Republican side of the county judge executive race. Moving on to the county sheriff, the Republican race, Roger Benton with 245, Jeffrey Smith with 336, Kenneth Scarberry with 569 votes. So it appears that Kenneth Scarberry right now is leading that race with all totals in for Morgan County. The Democrat side for sheriff, John Paul Turner with 896 votes, and Anthony Gullett with 500. So it appears John Paul Turner also is leading that race right now with all totals in for Morgan County. Magistrate District 2, Isaiah Perkins with 87, Frederick Hutchinson with 126, Stanley Bryan Hill with 11. So also again, all precincts in for that district. It appears that Frederick Hutchinson is leading that race. Same for Magistrate District 3, the Republican side, Tommy Fannin, the incumbent with 101, Ray Adkins with 198. So it appears that Ray Adkins has won that district as well, with all precinct totals in for Morgan County. Magistrate District 4 in the Eazell Chapel area, Frankie Spencer with 176, Timothy Hansen 42. This is the Republican side of this. We have a Democrat side to the District 4 race in Morgan County as well. Jenny Vest with 84, Brandon Evans with 254. So it looks like Brandon, the incumbent, has won that race as well with all totals in Morgan County. Moving on to Wolfe County, we're starting to get some new data in for Wolfe County. I think we're going to take a short break again and refresh this data. We're still waiting on stuff for Menifee County. I know folks have asked some of those numbers that we gave. Like I said, this is all unofficial. We only know what they tell us, and some of it didn't add up right. So we're waiting on somebody to confirm the numbers for Menifee County, the stuff that I read, the stuff that was sent to us on the recap sheet. So stay tuned, and hopefully here soon we'll have some totals for Bath County and Menifee County coming right up after this. Hello and welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. We've got some totals in for Wolfe County. We believe that all of the numbers are in for Wolfe County. So we're going to read what we know so far about that. Our data keepers have done such an excellent job at keeping up with all this. We've had numbers thrown at us left and right. So we're going to keep trying and read off some totals for Wolfe County. In the state Senate race, the 30th district for Wolfe County, the Republican, Brandon Smith with 130, he's the incumbent there. Bill Wesley with 110, that is in Wolfe County. Next is the magistrate race in District 1. Gary Dunn with 185, Timothy Bailey with 126, and Arthur Vest, the incumbent, with 61. So with all totals in for Wolfe County, it appears that right now Gary Dunn has won that race in the primary for Wolfe County for the Democratic nomination. In District 2 in Wolfe County, Michael B. Perry with 8, Gene Taylor Booth with 309, and Steve Oliver with 234. That is the 2nd District Magistrate in Wolfe County. So it appears that Gene Taylor Booth has won that race as well with all totals in for Wolfe County. Constable for District 2 in Wolfe County as well in the same district, John Matthew Cannon with 246 and Jason Mad Dog Miller with 216. So John Cannon right now appears that he's won at this race, at least the nomination. So we've got everything in for Wolfe. We've got everything in for Morgan. Let me do a double check here on our totals for Menifee and see if there's anything new. So we've currently not got anything new for Menifee. We can go and talk about Elliott County just real quickly like here. Let me refresh here. And we will go back and talk about Elliott County. If I can get my equipment to work here. So let me actually refresh this. I'm going to do this live on TV. We're going to break the third wall down, or the fourth wall, whatever they call it. So let's go to Elliott County here and talk about some of their totals. They only had the U.S. Senate race, the representative race, just a few things. So let's talk about that. Let's give some spotlight to Elliott County. The U.S. Senate for 5th District, the Republican side, Daniel Cameron with 36, Jonathan M. Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 159, Nate Morris with 0, Valerie Frederick with 2. Continued on with that race, Nick Shelley with 4, James Duncan with 0, Michael James Ferris with 4, Anissa Catlett with 0, Other Donald Wenzel with 1, Jimmy I. Leon with 1, and George Washington with 7. That's the U.S. Senate, the 5th District, Republican side. Now for the Democrat side of this same nomination, Vincent Anthony Thompson with 26, Amy McGrath with 164, Dale Lewis Romans with 15, Charles Booker with 94, Pamela Stevenson with 12. This is the Democrat side of that same race. Continued on here for the Democrats, Joshua Blanton Sr. with 16 and Logan Forsyth with 22. And on to the representative. This is the U.S. Representative, the 5th District, the Republican side. Kevin Smith with 22, Benjamin Hurley with 17, Hal Rogers 162, Jerry Lee Shelton with 4, Brandon Monholland with 11. The U.S. Senate, the 5th District, Daniel Cameron with 0, Jonathan Holliday with 0, Andy Barr with 0. That may be a problem. That's for Menifee County. I apologize. So we've still not got any data in from Menifee County that we can really trust at the moment. We've got a recap sheet that it appears that the totals are wrong, and I assume that the folks there at Menifee County are working hard to figure out what's up with that, and we hope to have some news for that. But right now, we've got totals. We got all totals in for Elliott, Morgan, and Wolfe counties. So we've already went over that quite a bit. So I'm going to take a break, and we probably won't come back on until we know something about Menifee or Bath County. We've still not got any data from Bath County, and we've not got any data from Menifee that is reputable yet. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. I've got some Bath County totals in. We've got the recap sheet, the final totals in for Bath County. We're updating those on the slideshow right now, but I want to read some of these off to you as they come in. We've got them right now. So this is for United States Senate, the 5th District. Daniel Cameron with 127, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 465. So I'll go ahead and say that Andy Barr has won the nomination for that because that's the way it is. And you'll see the totals on the slideshow. So let's move on to the other folks in the 6th District United States Senate, which is the same candidates in the 5th District. Andy Barr with 263, Daniel Cameron with 56, James Michael Ferris with 10, George Washington with 6, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Anissa Catlett with 3. So as well, Andy Barr has won that race as well. It's the 6th District. That is the Owingsville and the western part of Bath County. For the U.S. Representative in Congress, 5th District, Kevin Smith was 65, Benjamin Hurley with 49, Hal Rogers was 441, Jerry Lee Shelton with 30, Brandon DeMont Holland with 30. So Hal Rogers has won that nomination as well for the Republican state representative in Congress. And for the 6th District representative, which is also part of Owingsville and western parts of Bath County, Gregory George Polinsky with 14, Adam Perez Arquette with 2, Ralph Alvarado with 206, Steve Shannon with 37, and Ryan Dodson with 81. So Ralph Alvarado has secured the nomination for the Republican representative in the 6th District for Congress. A state representative race in Bath County, 74th District Representative, Aaron Williams with 147, Shannon Denniston with 221, and David Charles with 237. So David Charles has got the nomination for that race as well on the Republican side for Bath County. These are totals for Bath County. It's for my Bath County folks out there. County Judge Executive. That is for, I'm going to say, I'm trying to remember here. So I think this is just totals. So Banford Buddy Wilson with 414, Dallas Wayne Wisman with 294, Glenn Hartley with 185, Walter J. Bailey with 111. So Banford Buddy Wilson won that one with 414 votes in Bath County. It's for the County Judge Executive race. Sheriff for Bath County, John Tuffy Snedeker with 237, Ben Buckler Sr. with 274, Christopher Hall with 131, Chris Ingram with 59, Jonathan John Crouch with 318. So John Crouch won the nomination for sheriff in Bath County. Jailer in Bath County, Eddie Allen Sloan with 359, Patrick Riddle with 560. That's in Bath County. County Commissioner in Bath County. Bath County uses county commissioners rather than magistrates. Jimmy White with 175 and John B. Willoughby with 134. So Jimmy White has won the nomination for County Commissioner in the 1st District of Bath County. County Commissioner for the 2nd District in Bath County, Sammy Neal with 104, Dwayne Carpenter with 205. So Dwayne Carpenter has won the nomination for County Commissioner in the 2nd District. So far, those are the totals I have for Bath County. Let me revert back to my sheet here that our data keepers are doing an excellent job keeping up with. I can't say enough about the folks that are out in the field and working in here in the office as well, keeping our data for us. They keep me straight and they keep everybody else straight. Shout out to them. And I think today was actually Accounting Appreciation Day, and we appreciate them. I want to give a shout out to Andrew Bailey as well, the accounting supervisor here at the phone company. He keeps up with me personally, but he keeps up with the accounting folks as well. He's a smart feller. So it looks like these are totals for Bath County. Other races include Jailer Johnny Ray Botts with 1,133, and Chris Jamison with 564 for Bath County. They're typing these totals in, right now. So we're going to take a short break and let them type the totals in and get the slideshow refreshed. That way you can get the final totals for Bath County, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, to Channel 2 on Spree TV and Facebook Live, as well as YouTube Live. We've got the precinct and final totals in for Menifee County, and I know there's a lot of folks out there that's been waiting, and we appreciate your patience. We got the final recap sheet in. We're updating that on the slideshow right now, but I also want to say the totals that we have on this. So a lot of people's asked about the Menifee County Judge Executive race, and we have the final totals. Josh Brown with 97 votes, Hector Acala with 525, Tana M. Crouch with 242, and Norval Collinsworth Jr. with 68. So it appears that Hector Acala the incumbent in Menifee County has secured that nomination. Excuse me. So let's talk about some other races in Menifee County. I'm trying to look at the recap sheet as we get it here. If you all want live TV, this is live TV. So for sheriff in Menifee County, Frankie Kidd with 395, Dean Foltz Jr. with 380. So a tight race for sheriff in Menifee County. So Frankie Kidd gets the nomination for Menifee County Sheriff. I'm thinking that's the Republican side. That's the Republican sheriff race for Menifee County. So the Republican magistrate race for District, District 1. Correct. Yes, it's District 1. Tyler Thacker with 88. Gerald Walton with 110. So Gerald Walton gets the nomination for the Republican nomination for the magistrate in District 1 in Menifee County. Kenneth Hatton with 50. Joe Sorrell with 107. That's also magistrate in Menifee County. Joe Sorrell gets the nomination for that. On to the Democratic side for sheriff, Tim Newton with 120. Roger Smallwood with 732. So Roger Smallwood gets the Democratic nomination for sheriff in Menifee County. And wrapping up for Menifee County, we have a jailer race, and we've got two magistrate races. Democratic race for jailer, Courtney Alley Rogers with 425 and James Eric Helton with 360. So Courtney Rogers secures the nomination for that. Magistrate for Frenchburg City Limits, Paige Clark with 69, Ollie Whitaker with 121. So Ollie Whitaker secures the nomination for that race in Menifee County. Magistrate for Menifee County as well, Rick Bear, 124, and Alonda Brown Fife with 40. So Rick Bear, the incumbent, gets the nomination for that race as well. So we've got a lot of data coming in for Bath County. We have final totals for Bath County, and our data keepers at the moment are refreshing all this data. So we're going to take another short break and refresh our slideshow. And hopefully when we come back, we're going to go over all 5 counties and all the races and give you a final total of everything that's went on and let you know who has won their nominations in the primary. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Spree TV, Channel 2. I'm your co-host, Jenna Evans, here to read all of the results for Decision 2026 of all of the counties that we're covering. Starting off with Bath County results for U.S. Senate 5th District Republican race. Daniel Cameron with 127, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 465, and Nate Morris with 0. Valerie Frederick with 4. U.S. 5th District Republican continued, Nick Shelley with 6, James Duncan with 4, Michael Ferris with 15, Anissa Catlett with 1, and Other Wenzel with 1. For U.S. 5th District Republican, still going with Jimmy Leon with 3 and George Washington with 7. Bath County U.S. 5th District Democrat is Vincent Anthony Thompson with 20, Amy McGrath with 166, Dell Lewis Romans with 32, Charles Booker with 113, and Pamela Stevenson with 39. Continuing with that race, Joshua Blanton Sr. with 9, and Logan Forsyth with 11. For Bath County results for U.S. Representative 5th District Republican, Kevin Smith with 65, Benjamin Hurley with 49, Hal Rogers with 441, Jerry Lee Shelton with 30, and Brandon Mulholland with 30. For Bath County U.S. Senate 6th District Republican, Daniel Cameron with 56, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 263, Nate Morris with 0, and Valerie Frederick with 1. Bath County results for U.S. Senate 6th District Republican continued is Nick Shelley with 1, James Duncan with 1, Michael Ferris with 10, Anissa Catlett with 3, and Wenzel with 1. We're having some technical difficulties here, so we are going to take a short break and we'll come back with the rest of the counties. Welcome back. We're going to continue with the total results in Bath County. State Representative, 74th District Republican, Aaron Williams with 146, Shannon Denniston with 221, and David Charles with 637. For the County Judge Executive race on the Republican side in Bath County, we have Banford Buddy Wilson with 281, Dallas Wayne Wisman with 213, Glenn Hartley with 122, and Walter J. Bailey with 83. For the County Judge Executive race on the Democrat side, Nathan Lewis Fugit with 463, Walter Schrout with 636, Edgar Goodpaster with 551, and B.A. Franklin with 84. For the County Sheriff's race in Bath County on the Republican side, John Sniger with 174, Ben Buckler Jr. with 198, Christopher A. Hall with 98, Chris Ingram with 45, and Jonathan Crouch with 198. On the Bath County County Sheriff race Democrat side, Daniel Hurst with 61, Justin Sutherland with 760, Earl Willis with 643, and William Hornback with 216. For the Bath County results in the County Jailer Republican side, Eddie Sloan with 359 and Patrick Riddle with 560. For the County Jailer Democrat side, Johnny Botts with 1,133 and Chris Jamison with 564. For the Bath County Constable District 1 Democrat side, Jimmy Perry with 300 and Sir Browse with 147. For the Constable District 2 Democrat, David Jackson with 148 and Danny Bletcher with 349. For the County Commissioner District 1, Jimmy White with 175 and John Willoughby with 134. For the Bath County Commissioner for District 2, Sammy Neal with 104, and Dwayne Carpenter with 205. Bath County Commissioner for District 3, Johnny Brashear with 191, Rodney Jackson with 121, Russell Skaggs with 38, Travis Ginter with 290, and Norman Crouch with 279. For Elliott County results, U.S. Senate 5th District Republican Daniel Cameron with 36, Jonathan Holliday with 3, Andy Barr with 159, Nate Morris with 0, and Valerie Frederick with 2. For Elliott County U.S. Senate 5th District Republican, we have Nick Shelley with 4, James Duncan with 0, Michael Ferris with 4, Anissa Catlett with 0, and other Donald Wenzel with 1. For Elliott County results in the U.S. Senate 5th District Republican, we have Jimmy Leon with 1 and George Washington with 7. For Elliott County U.S. Senate 5th District Democrat, we have Vincent Thompson with 26, Amy McGrath with 164, Dell Romans with 15, Charles Booker with 94, and Pamela Stevenson with 12. Continuing that race, we have Joshua Blanton with 16 and Logan Forsyth with 22. For the U.S. Representative 5th District Republican, we have Kevin Smith with 22, Benjamin Hurley with 17, Hal Rogers with 162, Jerry Lee Shelton with 4, and Brandon Mulholland with 11. For the U.S. Senate 5th District Republican in Menifee County, we have Daniel Cameron with 180, Jonathan Holliday with 4, Andy Barr with 647, and Nate Morris with 27, and Valerie Frederick with 5. For the Menifee County U.S. Senate 5th District Republican continued, we have Nick Shelley with 1, James Duncan with 2, Michael Ferris with 19, Anissa Catlett with 3, and other Donald Wenzel with 1. Continuing that race, we have Jimmy Leon with 0 and George Washington with 15. For the Menifee County U.S. Senate 5th District Democrat ticket, we have Vincent Anthony Thompson with 46, Amy McGrath with 337, Dell Lewis Romans with 33, Charles Booker with 204, and Pamela Stevenson with 36. For the U.S. Senate 5th District continuing that race, we have Joshua Blanton with 33 and Logan Forsyth with 43. In the Menifee County 5th District Republican U.S. Representative ticket, we have Kevin Smith with 60, Benjamin Hurley with 44, Hal Rogers with 673, Jerry Lee Shelton with 22, and Brandon R. Mulholland with 41. For the State Representative 74th District Republican race, we have Aaron Williams with 136, Shannon Denniston with 275, and David Charles with 490. For the County Judge Executive race on the Republican side, we have Josh Brown with 97, Hector DeCalla with 525, Tana Crouch with 242, and Norvell Collinsworth Jr. with 68. For the County Sheriff's race on the Republican side, we have Frankie Kidd for 395 and Dean Foltz with 380. For Timothy Tim Newton on the Democrat side, we have 120 and Roger Smallwood with 732. In Menifee County, the County Jailer Democrat ticket, we have Courtney Allie Rogers with 425 and James Eric Helton with 360. For the Menifee County Magistrate District 2 Democrat, we have Paige Warren Clark with 69 and Ollie Whitaker with 121. For Magistrate District 3 Republican, we have Tyler Thacker with 88 and Gerald Walton with 110. In the Menifee County Magistrate District 4 Democrat ticket, we have Rick Bear with 124 and Alonda Brown Fife with 40. For the Menifee County Magistrate District 5 Republican ticket, we have Kenneth Hatton with 50 and Joe Sorrell with 107. In the Morgan County U.S. Senate 5th District Republican race, we have Daniel Cameron with 254, Jonathan M. Holliday with 12, Andy Barr with 760, Nate Morris with 50, and Valerie Frederick with 9. For the U.S. Senate 5th District continuing that race, we have Nick Shelley with 4, James Duncan with 4, Michael Ferris with 4, Anissa Catlett with 2, and other Donald Wenzel with 1. Continuing that race, we have Jimmy Leon with 3 and George Washington with 11. For the Morgan County U.S. Senate 5th District Democrat, we have Vincent Anthony Thompson with 95, Amy McGrath with 493, Del Lewis Romans with 61, Charles Booker with 352, and Pamela Stevenson with 77. Continuing that race, we have Joshua Blanton Sr. with 81 and Logan Forsyth with 59. In the Morgan County 5th District U.S. Representative Republican ticket, we have Kevin Smith with 153, Benjamin Hurley with 39, Hal Rogers with 845, Jerry Lee Shelton with 13, and Brandon Mulholland with 31. With the State Senate 30th District, we have Brandon Smith with 567 and Bill Wesley with 494. For the County Judge Executive race on the Republican ticket, we have James David Green with 379, Jimmy Gazay with 334, and Kenneth Kelly Bowman with 442. For the County Sheriff's race on the Republican side, we have Roger Benton with 245, Jeffrey Smith with 336, and Kenneth Scarberry with 569. For the County Sheriff's race on the Democrat side, we have John Paul Turner with 896 and Anthony Gullett with 500. For the Magistrate District 2 race in Morgan County, the Republican ticket, Isaiah Perkins with 87, Frederick Hutchison with 126, and Stanley Bryan Hill with 11. For Magistrate District 3 Republican, Tommy Fannin with 101, and Ray Atkins with 198. Magistrate District 4 Republican, Frankie Spencer with 176, and Timothy Hansen with 42. For the Magistrate District 4 Democrat, we have Jenny Vest with 84 and Brandon Evans with 254. Wolfe County, U.S. Senate 5th District Republican, Daniel Cameron with 49, Jonathan Holliday with 1, Andy Barr with 180, Nate Morris with 6, and Valerie Frederick with 2. Continuing that race, we have Nick Shelley with 1, James Duncan with 4, Michael Ferris with 5, Anissa Catlett with 0, and other Donald Wenzel with 2. Continuing that race, we have Jimmy Leon with 0 and George Washington with 4. Wolfe County, U.S. Senate 5th District Democrat, we have Vincent Anthony Thompson with 121, Amy McGrath with 449, Del Lewis Romans with 53, Charles Booker with 265, and Pamela Stevenson with 41. Continuing that race, we have Joshua Blanton Sr. with 56 and Logan Forsyth with 63. For the U.S. Representative 5th District Republican, we have Kevin Smith with 21, Benjamin Hurley with 13, Hal Rogers with 182, Jerry Lee Shelton with 11, and Brandon Mulholland with 8. State Senate 30th District in Wolfe County, we have Brandon Smith with 130 and Bill Wesley with 110. Magistrate District 1 Democrat for Wolfe County, Gary Dunn with 185, Timothy Bailey with 126, and Arthur Vest with 61. Wolfe County Magistrate District 2, for the Democrat side, we have Michael Perry with 8, Gene Taylor Booth with 309, and Steve Oliver for 234. Wolfe County Constable District 2, we have John Matthew Cannon with 246 and Jason Mad Dog Miller with 216. So these are all the results that we have for our counties We are going to come back in a little bit to sign off of here, but we hope that you have enjoyed this year's Decision 2026 for the primary election in all of these counties. Again, this is not official. It is not official until the state verifies this information, but this is what we have gathered from our counties, and we hope you've enjoyed. We'll be back in a little while.
Welcome back to Spree TV Channel 2. I'm Jonathan Keaton, and this is Jenna Evans. We've had a great time covering the Decision 2026 primary election. I want to send a great big shout out to the folks who worked tonight. Caleb Cottle, Tyler Atkins, Tim Mays, Adam Mann, Andrew Bailey, Tammy Cole, Junior Lane, Keisha Ison, and am I forgetting anybody? I don't think I am.
If we did, thank you.
But everybody that had a hand in this, and Andrew Bailey as well for helping me with the Excel sheets and everything. This is a great big undertaking. We can't do it without our folks here, but most of all, we can't do it without you, the viewers that watch this, and we hope that we've provided a quality program for you. And next time in the fall, we'll be back on again soon, but until then, we'll see you in the fall. We're going to let this keep running for a while, the slideshow, that way you can see who won, and we're going to actually put check marks next to the winners for each district and each race, that way you know. But check back with us in the fall. We'll be back for Decision 2026 then. Good night, everyone.